Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by, and welcome to the Ironclad Performance Wear Corp. First Quarter 2010 Financial Results Conference Call. During today's presentation, all parties will be in a listen-only mode. Following the presentation, the conference will be opened for questions. If you have a question, please press the star followed by the 1 on your touch-tone phone. Please press star 0 for operator assistance at any time. And for participants using speaker equipment, it may be necessary to pick up your handset before making your selection. This conference is being recorded today, Wednesday, May 12th of 2010. And I would now like to turn the conference over to Scott Jarrett, Chairman and CEO. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Scott Jarrett, the Chairman and CEO of Ironclad Performance Wear, and I want to welcome everyone to Ironclad's First Quarter 2010 Financial Results Conference Call. Joining me on this call is Ed Jaeger, Ironclad's founder and head of business development, Tom Craig, our senior vice president of finance, and Fred Castro, our national sales director. During this call, we will review the financial results for the first quarter of 2010, which have now been publicly released, and then give some color on the performance of the company. Tom Craig will provide specific financial results for the quarter, followed by a report from Ed Jaeger on business development opportunities, and then Fred Castro will talk about the significant sales, successes, and opportunities for Ironclad. We will conclude by answering any questions you may have regarding these financial results and our business. I'll begin by saying that Ironclad continues to successfully execute on its business plan for 2010. The company's first quarter results were in line with our expectations, and in a few areas, such as gross margins, actually exceeded our expectations. The company has been very effective at controlling costs and has become adept at matching variable costs to top-line revenues. And at the end of the day, Ironclad continues to improve its bottom line, improving our performance by 28% over the previous year. However, this only tells a portion of the story for Ironclad and its future opportunities. You'll hear today that our success in the industrial safety markets continues to outpace our expectations, and how the Calm Glove for the oil and gas industry has become the benchmark performance safety glove for the industry. How our licensed opportunities with Snap-on and Red Wing continue to grow in both sales and points of distribution, and that our co-branded Built Tough by Ironclad gloves for such customers as 511 Tactical are doing very well, so much so that we've already started on additional designs and innovations. The power of Ironclad's brand and its solid reputation as the industry-leading provider of technical task-specific performance gloves is now providing Ironclad with an opportunity to enter new markets. Through a long-term licensing partnership with one of the preeminent brands in the outdoor sports and lifestyle industry, Ironclad will soon introduce this market to a performance, quality, and technical innovation which has been enjoyed by the industrial construction industries for more than a decade. We believe that this could be a very significant new channel for Ironclad. There will be more details on this as they become available. All of this has led Ironclad to begin exploring ways of expanding rapidly and growing its business outside of its strong organic growth. I'm going to touch on this at the conclusion of the conference call. At this point, I'm now going to turn the floor over to Tom Craig, who will walk us through the highlights of our first quarter 2010 financial results. Tom?
Thank you, Scott. Net sales for the quarter ended March 31, 2010 declined slightly by $34,000, or 1.4%, to $2,483,000 from $2,517,000 for the same quarter in 2009. In the first quarter, we continued to see some modest growth in our industrial and safety sales channels. The nominal decline in net sales in the first quarter is due to the timing of some international sales compared to the prior year in the amount of $344,000. However, much of this decline was offset by increased domestic glove sales. While we continue to see a softer than usual demand for our products in the housing and construction sectors, we are starting to see a stabilization and even some slight upticks with certain customers. Gross profit for the quarter was up $185,000 to $1,093,000 from $908,000 in the corresponding period in 2009. Gross profit as a percentage of net sales, or in other words, gross margin, increased 7.9% to 44% in 2010 from 36.1% last year. The increase in gross profit of 7.9% was due to changes in our customer and product mix, notably a reduction in lower margin international sales of the first quarter due to timing, adjustments in the prior year quarter for rebate and pricing corrections, and a reduction in returns and air freight charges versus the prior year. Operating expenses in the first quarter were up slightly by $41,000, or 2.9%, to $1,444,000 versus $1,403,000 in 2009. The increased spending in 2010 was due to a number of factors, including increases in marketing and trade show activity of $21,000, travel expenses related to sales activities of $6,000, stock options expense of $62,000, and general office expenses of $15,000. These were offset by decreases in salaries and benefits expenses of $26,000, professional and legal fees of $27,000, and operational services, primarily our outsourced warehousing, of $10,000. Our total number of employees remained the same at 21 as of March 31st. Interest expense decreased $4,600 to $19,200 in the first quarter of 2010 from $23,800 in the same period of 2009. This decline is due to reduced borrowing under our bank factoring agreements. Interest income is de minimis, as our invested funds are mainly in liquid available form at, unfortunately, very low interest rates. Our net loss decreased $147,000 to $374,000 in the first quarter of 2010, compared to a net loss of $521,000 in 2009. This represents a 28% improvement over the prior year. Typically, first and second quarters of the year are our slower sales periods when we tend to generate net losses. This year's first quarter is no exception. However, based on our ongoing commitment to increase profitability while containing costs, we are continuing to experience a significant improvement in our bottom line. In addition to the reported numbers, I also want to highlight a few operational metrics which I think speak volumes about Ironclad's management of its business. The company's accounts receivable days outstanding dropped from 56 days to 22 days. This was a result of increased diligence with our customers and a focus on managing any overexposure by our customers. Additionally, as described on the balance sheet, Ironclad's cash position improved by approximately $280,000 compared to the same period last year, while at the same time the company maintained its inventory levels and was able to reduce its borrowing costs by carefully managing its cash flows. I will now turn the call over to Ed Jaeger, who will describe the business development successes and opportunities for Ironclad.
Thank you, Tom. Ironclad's DNA is built upon a commitment to build the best products for our customers, the industrial athlete. A key component of this DNA is a relentless search for new and innovative materials and technologies we can build into our products. It is this drive and capability which has enabled Ironclad to command a leading position in the industry and to be selected as a partner with some of the leading brands and companies within the industrial, construction, oil and gas, police and fire, and first responder markets. Ironclad's partnership with 511 Tactical, a leading supplier in the police, firemen, and first responder market, has been distributing their new line of police gloves, which are built tough by Ironclad, for several months. 511 Tactical reports that their customers are very pleased with the new line of gloves, and sales are above their projections. Our next project with 511 Tactical is the development and production of a new glove line designed specifically for firemen and first responders. We've completed the design and development stage and are moving into the pre-production sample stage for their national and worldwide sales force. In addition to a new and innovative designs and materials, these new gloves will feature crossover technologies from several of our current gloves in the industrial and safety markets with a proven track record. More than a year and a half ago, Ironclad released the first task-specific glove designed for the oil and gas extraction industry. Since then, the Kong, or King of Oil and Gas, glove has become the leading performance safety glove for the oil and gas industry around the world. Ironclad is now in development of the next generation of the Kong glove line, augmenting the original design with a cut and puncture-resistant model. Recently, the U.S. Department of the Interior recognized Eric Jaeger, Ironclad's Vice President of Research and Development, with the Offshore Leadership Award, recognizing exceptional performance for enhancing workers' hand safety through the design and development of the Kong glove line. Joining Eric in receiving this award was Clark Orr, Vice President of War Safety, and the safety directors of ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, and Superior Energy. Ironclad is now in its second year of a licensing agreement with Snap-on Tools for a glove line built tough by Ironclad. We now provide Snap-on branded gloves to all Pep Boy locations and most recently over 2,500 locations of AutoZone. Additional points of distribution within the retail automotive market are in discussion. Within the last couple of weeks, Ironclad inked a long-term licensing agreement with a well-known partner in the outdoor sports and lifestyle market. Ironclad has already met with and received significant interest from several leading national sporting goods retailers for carrying this co-branded line of gloves. This opportunity represents Ironclad's foray into an entirely new market for its task-specific performance gloves, one which is focused on new technology and innovative design. We expect to have products in several major retailers starting in third and fourth quarter of this year. Finally, I want to provide an update on Ironclad's licensing business. Shadow Beverage, our licensing partner for the Ironclad Energy and Hydration drink, continues to exceed projections and expectations in both sales and points of distribution. Ironclad's energy and hydration drink can be found in Quick Trip, Quick Stop, Terrible Herbs, AM/PM, and pantry convenience stores, as well as Flying J and Pilot truck stops across the United States. In addition, the Ironclad branded drink may lead to opportunities for distribution into these outlets, namely convenience stores, for our performance work gloves. In addition, a national promotion sponsored by Shadow Beverage, whereby Ironclad gloves are offered as a free bonus to buyers of a case of Ironclad energy and hydration drinks. Several retail outlets will soon be selling Ironclad gloves through in-store displays. This represents an entirely new and untapped retail distribution channel, namely the convenience store market for Ironclad gloves. I will now turn the call over to Fred, who will discuss the first quarter sales and marketing activities.
Thank you, Ed. As you heard from Tom, our quarterly net sales were off by 1.4% year over year. This decline was primarily due to the continued sluggishness in the pro specialty channel and early shipment of an international order in Q4 of 2009, which would have ordinarily occurred in first quarter of 2010. However, our remaining core market segments, retail, industrial safety, and built up by Ironclad strategic partnerships, continue to exceed expectations. Ironclad's retail segment is running even with last year's sales for this period. This sector is comprised of Menards, Ace Hardware, True Value, Do It Best, and Orville. Our industrial safety channel continued to gain sweeping momentum with up over 167% when compared to the same period in 2009. Examples of Ironclad's recent success in this channel include Ranger nearly doubling Ironclad's catalog listing for 2010, in addition to in-store merchandising of Ironclad core items and 600 showrooms nationwide. We are also very pleased to report that Lab Safety, Coors NASCO, United Stationers, and New Line, amongst others, have also increased visibility for Ironclad brand by increasing catalog listings and offering online promotions for our best-selling models. In addition to our core products performing well, the Kong Oil and Gas Club continues to be the benchmark standard for the industry. Looking outside of our core branded business, our Built Tough by Ironclad strategic partners are performing exceptionally well. Leveraging our innovative advanced glove design and technology with dominant leaders within specialized markets, our value partners have proven this concept to be very successful. Red Wing, the leading brand in industrial strength performance work boots, is now in the third year selling Red Wing branded Ironclad gloves and is up 7% year to date. Snap-on, a licensed glove program described a moment ago by Ed Davey, is also experiencing after being introduced to Pep Boys in 2009. Most recently, Snap-on licensed gloves are now available in 2,500 AutoZone locations nationwide. Also, as Ed mentioned, the 511 tactical gloves, which are co-branded as Built Tough by Ironclad, are now in full production, are being sought after in the fire and rescue, law enforcement markets. We are also very excited about entering into the outdoor sports lifestyle markets with very unique design and co-branded gloves. On the marketing front, Ironclad recently released its new website, www.ironclad.com. The redesign of the website is expected to generate increased traffic and online buying. It will also provide consumers with a resource for determining the best glove products for their particular needs. And it will provide an online portal for specialty offerings such as those provided to very large selected Ironclad customers. Lastly, in addition to Ironclad participation for the 13th straight year in the National Hardware Show in Las Vegas earlier this month, which, by the way, was a very successful show for Ironclad, the company will be increasing its participation in certain specialized trade shows, particularly those focused on safety. Industry conferences, such as the National Safety Council, are becoming increasingly relevant as an opportunity for safety managers and buyers from around the world, not only to touch and feel products they are considering, but to learn and discuss the merits of those products directly with our designers. Ironclad has positioned itself as a subject matter expert when it comes to hand safety in the workplace, and will also be expanding its participation in the education process within the safety sector. Scott, back to you.
Thanks, Fred. As you've heard today, the company continues to perform well, and there are significant opportunities ahead for Ironclad. Our financial results for Q1 2010 met or exceeded our expectations. We continue to believe that net sales for the year will increase between 5 and 10%, and that the company will report positive earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, and stock option expenses for the year. Considering the challenging worldwide business climate and the extreme pressures being felt by all segments of the manufacturing, industrial, and construction markets, we believe that Ironclad has outperformed expectations and that the company's future prospects are very encouraging. We at Ironclad remain very bullish and confident in our ability to not only execute on our business plan, but to aggressively expand our business in a well-considered fashion. Towards this goal, the company has recently hired an investment banking firm and is now exploring acquisition opportunities which, if successful, are expected to be accretive for our business on both a net sales and net income basis. There are a number of strategic, synergistic companies in Ironclad's space which have expressed an interest in a business combination. And while there is no guarantee that we can close any of these opportunities, we believe that a successful transaction should result in another positively inflective and transformational change in the company. This concludes the formal portion of our conference call. I'll now open up the floor to any questions you may have. Operator, the call is now yours to moderate.
Thank you, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. As a reminder, if you have a question, please press the star followed by the 1 on your touch-tone phone. If you would like to withdraw your question, please press the star followed by the 2. And if you are using speaker equipment, you will need to lift the handset before making your selection. Once again, if you have a question at this time, please press the star followed by the 1. One moment, please, for our first question. And our first question comes from the line of Stephen Selecki. He's a private investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. I'd like to say hello to all of you there and extend my congratulations for Ironclad's Clown Glove Award from the U.S. Department of Interior.
Thank you.
I am currently employed with my local public works department, and they contract through Ranger, so I'm very well familiar. They're very well familiar with the line of gloves that they have. They're Ironclad gloves. So I placed a recommendation with our safety specialist to switch to Ironclad's task-specific line of gloves as a result of Kong's recognition as a significant enhancement to safety. So hopefully he will soon take the decision to switch to this to your brand, and hopefully he takes it seriously. So just a comment I wanted to make there. But I do have 2 questions to ask. Question number 1 is I'd like to. Well, you probably recall that I participated in last quarter's a conference call regarding the enhancement of shareholder value and the establishment of investor relationships, public relations. This leads to question number 1. I'd like to know if you can elaborate on the progress of this thus far. And then question number 2 is, there are over 30 million shares at a cost of 8 cents or less. I'd like to know how you plan to break or burn this overhang barrier.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for making the recommendation for the Public Works Department to go to Granger for our gloves. That's very, very nice of you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. With regard to investor relations, as I reported during the last quarterly call, I have been reluctant to spend much time and energy doing much in the way of investor relations until we had a good track record under our belt where we both did progress nicely on our turnaround plan, but also were able to meet the expectations that we had set for the market. Based upon our performance in the third quarter, fourth quarter of last year, and now Q1 of this year, I am actually going to be, and the company will be, embarking upon a renewed investor relations strategy to, again, retell the story of Ironclad and to also promote the company's success to date and to describe where we think this company is going both organically and inorganically based upon what I just mentioned about the retaining of an investment banking firm to look at potential acquisitions. So the short answer is I think the market and you hopefully will start seeing more about Ironclad in the media and certainly within the investor relations community in the very, very near future.
Thank you.
As for the overhang of the low-price shares, there's obviously not a whole lot that the company can do about that, short of continuing to perform as we say we're going to, and looking for ways of increasing the value of Ironclad such that the equity component of the company continues to rise in value. And frankly, that's one of the primary drivers which motivated the board of directors to decide to engage an investment banking firm to help us look for new opportunities over and above our organic growth. To put it a little more succinctly, we have been discussing for several months whether Ironclad should remain a very small micro cap public company that's growing at a reasonable rate and starting at a $15 million revenue base, and that'll be fine, but it won't increase shareholder value very appropriately. Or we could leverage our public company status to look at opportunities to acquire more business with the goal of being a much larger company within a very short time frame. And after much discussion, we decided to kind of roll the dice and make that effort to become a much larger company in a very short period of time, because we feel that on a number of fronts, this is the right time for us to do it. The markets are good for acquisitions at a reasonable price. Two, we know that a number of competitors and others in related industries are not doing well right now, so there's some opportunity to take advantage of some of that. Number three, we do know that in our particular space there is a desire by some companies for liquidity, and we can hopefully provide some of that. And number four, given the success that Ironclad has been experiencing over the last several quarters, we think that we have a story which will make it easier to both convince acquisition targets to join the Ironclad family, as well as to convince possible investors to participate in any capital raise that's necessary to accommodate any acquisitions we may have, which may need cash requirements.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your replies to my questions.
Thanks.
Thank you. And as a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any additional questions at this time, please press the star followed by the 1. And if you are using speaker equipment, it will be necessary to pick up your handset before making your selection. One moment, please, for our next question. And at this time, I'm showing no further questions in my queue. Please continue.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for their participation in the Q1 2010 financial results conference call. As always, we look forward to your continuing support, and if there are any questions we could answer for you, please don't hesitate to drop us an email or a telephone call. We look forward to your participation in the Q2 conference call at the appropriate time, and again, thank you very much, and thank you, Michaela, for hosting the call.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude the Ironclad Performance Wear Corp. First Quarter 2010 Financial Results Conference Call. This conference will be available for replay until May 26th at midnight. You may access the replay system at any time by dialing 303-590-3030 or 1-800-406-7325 with the access code of 4299943#. We thank you for your participation, and at this time, you may now disconnect.